When passing, the form that you should use most frequently is with the inside of your foot, known as the soccer push pass. Number 1, plant next to the ball, about 6 inches away. Tip number 2, keep your toe up, your heel down, and your ankle locked. Number 3, keep your knees slightly bent and your foot slightly off the ground. Number 4, follow through after you make contact with the ball. Number 1, plant about 6 inches away from the ball. Your body mechanics will allow you to turn your leg so you can do that push pass with the instep of your foot. Keep that plant leg that's planting on the ground pointed at the person or at the space in which you're trying to pass the ball. Keep your plant leg slightly bent, and you don't want to have a straight leg when you go to make a pass or even when you shoot. Also, turn your hips towards the person or space in which you're trying to pass that ball. By the way, I'm Dylan Joseph, trainer and #1 best-selling Amazon author. Tip number 2, point your toe all the way up, which will naturally point your heel down. This will naturally lock your ankle, which will make it so that your pass is both more powerful and likely more accurate. Also, locking your ankle will allow the surface on the side of your foot to be wider when you go to make that push pass. By pointing your toe down when passing, you make your foot more narrow. Having a more narrow foot will actually increase your room for error, and if you even slightly misjudge it whatsoever, you'll have a more inaccurate pass. And if you pass with your toe down and your heel up, this will make it so that your ankle is more loose and thereby not have as much power on your pass. Tip number 3, have the knee on your passing leg slightly bent. When you stand completely upright and you're not bending that plant leg, you make it so that you're not engaging the strongest muscle of your body, the quadricep. This limits your ability to be explosive with your shooting, passing, dribbling, jumping, and running. And having a bent knee will make it so that your foot is naturally slightly off the ground. If you pass the ball with your foot really close to the ground or even slightly touching the ground, then it will result in the ball popping up in the air. Part of passing is trying to make it as easy as possible for your teammate to succeed. If you're consistently passing the ball in the air, and I made this mistake too, then it'll make it a lot harder for your teammates to be able to control the ball and attack with it. Your teammates will likely have to focus on bringing the ball to the ground with their first touch before taking that second touch in the direction that they need to travel. Ideally, your push pass should be firm, accurate, and on the ground, either into space or at the person you're passing to, so that they can take their first touch with it and attack where they need to go. Number 4, follow through on your pass, and can you give this video a like? What you do with your leg after you follow through is determined by what you need to do next in your practice, scrimmage, or game. Most times when you make a pass, you'll be running to that next spot on the field that you plan to travel to. Therefore, you're gonna follow through, similar to a shot, and with that leg, you're gonna take that next step, with the back leg bring it forward so that you can continue your momentum. However, at times, you're gonna wanna pass the ball, but not be a part of the attacking play. As examples, players that may do this are goalkeepers and occasionally defenders. Therefore, you should still follow through when making that pass. Just take your leg and bring it back to where it started when you began that pass. For a couple things to avoid when passing is avoid lifting your head until the ball is at least a second removed from your foot after making that pass. Keeping your head down while you pass will also keep your chest over the ball and keep your form together when you go and make that pass. Also, keeping your head over the ball and your chest over the ball when you go to pass it will reduce the chance that the ball pops up into the air when you do that push pass. The second thing to avoid is passing with the softest portion of your foot, which I refer to as the broom of your foot. Therefore, because this portion of your foot is not that hard, you're not going to have that hard of a pass. Third, avoid having your toe down and ankle up when passing. This almost ensures that you're going to be having a soft pass because you're using the broom of your foot. Even worse, this makes your foot more narrow, which increases the chance that you have an inaccurate pass. Fourth, unless absolutely necessary, avoid passes in the air to your teammates. They are both harder for a teammate to control and make it easier for the defender to come in and try to steal that ball. So consider subscribing.